Hey everyone, welcome to the Nevada Entrepreneurs Podcast, episode 2. I am here with a good friend of mine and last night's event attendee, Cheyenne Iverson. Cheyenne, if you could explain a little bit about who you are and what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, thanks Dylan. I'm Cheyenne Iverson. I'm the owner of Every Sparrow Strategy and Design, and I'm a recovering attorney. I went to law school in 2018 and I had a baby in law school, lots of fun stuff. And I immediately started working as an attorney as soon as I graduated and passed the bar. And since then, I have worn many hats as an attorney and done lots of different things, mostly in the world of business law. And I worked for an international business law firm for a while, and I helped people with just ideas form startups. I helped startups grow. I helped nonprofits, investors, large business owners, small business owners, and it was something that was really fulfilling for me to do. And I transitioned into an in-house attorney role 2 years ago, just for the work-life balance. And I found, like many attorneys do, that while the corporate attorney life was a nice salary, it was a lot of hours away from my family. And my son, a while back, said that he thought that my favorite place in the world was work, and that made me really sad, and that hit really hard. Yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow. So I never want my kids, I have 3 kids with my husband Jeff, and I never want them to feel that I focus solely on work and that was my favorite place to be, and my favorite place to be is actually with them. So I have an entrepreneur husband, Jeff, who has really inspired me with his work and his work ethic, and he has supported me to go on this consulting journey now, just so that I do have that time freedom and that flexibility and can provide for my family in a way using those skills that I've acquired as a business attorney. Even if I'm not in an attorney role now, using that to help small businesses feels much more fulfilling for me, and I have a lot more time with my family, which is really the main goal.
Yeah, no, that's great. And our sponsor last night told me that you two really connected. And you've got a bright future together, working together. She's an HR specialist, so I'm looking forward to hearing how that goes.
Yeah, Lindsay is great. We've already got something on the books for next week, so I'm excited to work with her. I think the community of entrepreneurs that we have in Reno and Northern Nevada is amazing, and they've been very welcoming for me. And I have been booked and busy since I started this business, and that's really thanks to them and the incredible welcome that I've had into that community.
Yeah, that's amazing. What led you to start Every Sparrow, your company?
Yeah, I think that just really realizing that I was spending a lot of hours pouring into making somebody else rich and in that kind of realizing that I have all of the skills and the ability and for sure the drive to do that for myself and for my family to benefit. If I'm going to be working 50, 60 hours a week, which I'm not anymore, thank you. But if I'm going to be doing that, I would love to be able to benefit directly from that. And I just wasn't in the corporate world. And it was, I feel like since I left the corporate attorney life, I've gotten a little bit more of my spunk back, a little bit more of my spirit back every single day. And I feel that the anxiety is less and I'm happier, I can relax more. And everybody that I interact with is just so happy to be with me and so happy to have the services that I provide at the affordable rate that I can provide them for. And that feels like that's more aligned with who I want to be and what I want to do with my company and with my life. I don't want to spend my skill set that I spent, I have more degrees than a thermometer. I spent a long time educating myself on this kind of stuff. And I think that it feels perfectly aligned with my purpose in life to help other people rather than spin my wheels in the corporate attorney world and try to get ahead and constantly feel like I'm not good enough. Now I'm feeling like not only am I good enough, but I'm serving other people in a way that is meaningful to them as well.
Yeah, oh, that's amazing stuff. And what was the genesis behind the name Every Sparrow?
Yeah, I get that question a lot because it's kind of a unique name, but Every Sparrow is really rooted in a Bible verse, Matthew 6:26. And to paraphrase, it talks about sparrows, which are traditionally, an insignificant bird, and how they don't go looking for their food, they don't go doing anything significant really, but they're always provided for, and they're always seen, and they're always taken care of. And in the same way, every sparrow means to me, I want every single business owner to feel seen by me and to feel that same kind of love and know that their dreams and their business is significant, and regardless of where they're at in their journey, that they matter, and that they can accomplish whatever it is that they have in front of them. I'm really a big believer that the things that are inside of us that kind of just don't go away, those dreams, those passions that just linger and kind of nag at you, those are directly tied to your purpose. And this is something Every Sparrow has been nagging at me for years to start something like this, and I've really never really had the opportunity until now. And honestly, with my husband's help, he has been incredibly supportive and encouraging, and I've been very busy for the past few weeks, and I asked him, can you believe that I'm this busy? And he's like, of course, I knew you could do it. And that kind of a belief in that he has in me is the same belief that I want to convey to everybody that I work with and work for. And just knowing that somebody believes in you and sees you and you're not insignificant and you matter, that's the exact feeling that I want to convey to my clients. And really anybody that I come into contact with, I want them to know that they're seen regardless of how significant they feel their business is at the moment.
Yeah, no, and that's amazing stuff. I mean, you do want people to be seen, and people need to feel like they're special in business, and making it an affordable rate really helps too, because you're more focused on value you give them than value in dollar signs. So
absolutely,
that's what it's really about in entrepreneurship, guys. Like, just let's focus on serving our people. How does what Every Sparrow do differ from a law firm?
We're very different, first and foremost, because while I am an attorney, a licensed attorney, I am not practicing law in Nevada. So I'm not representing anybody in court or to a counterparty, but I have that legal knowledge that I'm utilizing when I am providing those consulting services. I also don't ever have a retainer fee, which is a big difference to the law firm. I am going to be much cheaper than going to a law firm for things like contract review, document review, just kind of getting a great overview of your business overall so that we can create a strategy for you to achieve the goals. I always encourage my clients in our sessions, tell me what your goal is, and they'll say something. And I have to really kind of pull it out of them. No, like, what is your ultimate goal? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? If you knew that you couldn't fail, what would you go for? And those are the things that I'm talking about that just kind of linger in your heart and in your spirit for a long time and don't go away. Those are the things that I want to know. I worked with somebody who is a makeup artist, and she's incredible. And she said that she wants to get into a salon. And I said, what's your real dream? And she wants to open a store, like a lab where people can come and get custom makeup made for them.
Oh, nice.
Those are the dreams that I'm talking about. Just dream a little bit bigger. Even if it's scary and even if it sounds ridiculous, those are the things that I want to encourage in my clients. Put it out there. Let's make a plan. The next 5 years are going to pass, whether or not you're working on that goal or if you're staying stagnant. So I really want to be able to equip my clients and empower them to go for those dreams because they're possible. I tell people all the time, every single business you see, and you know this as an entrepreneur, every single business you see really is just somebody with an idea that went for it. And I think that's kind of how I'm taking my business. I have to kind of, practice what I preach here, and I'm just going for it. And because that's what I see so much potential and power in people, and they just need somebody that sees that in them to encourage it and kind of get that out of them so that they can believe in themselves and they can push forward, following their dreams.
So it sounds like that segues into the next question, which is, what is the mission behind Every Sparrow?
Absolutely. So my main goal with Every Sparrow is to finally provide expert, legally informed business consulting and make it accessible and affordable and less intimidating than going to a traditional law firm.
Yeah.
I don't find myself intimidating, but I am very confident in what I have to offer.
Intimidates people right there.
I think just in general, I give the Elle Woods vibes, you know,
Okay.
With that being said, every event that I go to, I try to remember, like, it takes a lot for people to go to events.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to go up and shake your hand or shake someone's hand and say, who are you and what do you do? I'm interested in you. And for them to be able to give their elevator pitch to you about it takes a lot, and I understand that, and I think that having someone who is warm and inviting rather than cold and kind of just being like, I don't really need you or your clientele, I just, you know, I'm worried about myself. That's not at all what Every Sparrow wants to do. And I know as an attorney, calling an attorney is intimidating, first of all. Nobody likes to talk to an attorney. Nobody likes to talk to an attorney. So I want to change that. And I want it to be a positive experience. I want somebody to leave a session with me feeling like they are empowered and they're ready to go to work in their business and they have all of the tools that they need and they have support. And that's really the goal, just to be able to make this level of expert legal knowledge accessible to people in a way that isn't going to break their bank and isn't going to make them feel like, oh, this is impossible. The main thing that I want everybody to feel is that whatever it is that they want to do, it's possible. Every business that you see is just somebody who felt the same way before.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And what is one piece of advice you'd give to a business owner or someone looking to start a business?
I think exactly that. Just go for it. And not everything has to be in place. Not everything has to be perfect.
No.
You don't have to have everything figured out. And in fact, if you wait for everything to be figured out, you're never going to get it done.
You'll be a skeleton.
You'll be a skeleton. And your business will never see the light of day. And I see so many people with incredible ideas. I always say that, you know, I work with startups, I work with small businesses, but I actually work with ideas. And even if somebody doesn't have their business quite formed yet, I love working with those people because it's amazing to see somebody passionate about something and be able to, you know, fan that flame for them and encourage them and let them know that this is possible. Like, let's make a plan and let's make it happen. When so many people are afraid to just get going, I think that's the best advice that I could give anybody who has a business or who wants to start a business is just do it. Why not? And it doesn't have to be forever either. That's also something I think as
There's
entrepreneurs.
a lot of different businesses you can do.
Yeah, as entrepreneurs, we have to understand that businesses live and die, and that's okay. And it's important to be flexible. We bend so we don't break, right? It's important to be flexible and to kind of ride the waves of what your business has to offer and make sure that we're changing with the times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking about what she's talking about, you guys, there's a lot of people too who are terrified of getting themselves in front of camera. You know, you're gonna have haters no matter what. Like,
haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. You're gonna have haters no matter what. It's the trolls that you really got to think about. But the haters can be converted to your customers too if you just like approach it the right way. So, you know, don't completely disregard your haters. They give you a lot of engagement in the comments as well. And I'm alarmed at how many people have private profiles that have businesses. Like, no, you got to be seen. You got to open that up.
Keyboard warriors too. I think, have you heard of the Mel Robbins theory? Let them. And it basically people are going to say what they want to say. They're going to think what they want to think. As long as you know that you are walking in your truth and you are doing that with integrity. If somebody doesn't like what you have to offer, that's okay. Let them.
Can't please everyone anyway.
No, and you don't want to, because if you're pleasing everybody, you're doing something wrong. There are always going to be people that aren't your people, and that's okay. I think you just have to move on knowing that your people will always find you. That's
right. And it's usually, you want to focus on what the 80-90% are feeling about you and your supporters, not what the 10 or 20% think, because they're not the majority and they're not the ones. I mean, like I said, you can't please everyone regardless. Well, this is great. So how can you explain to me about what we talked about yesterday with your left brain, right brain relationship with your husband Jeff?
Totally. Yeah, I have an amazing entrepreneur husband, Jeff, who's really inspired my entrepreneurial spirit as well. And I fell in love with his videos. He's a videographer before I even fell in love with him, which is a true story. But he has his own business filming adventurous weddings and elopements all over the world.
Yeah.
And I've traveled with him to Iceland and Ireland and Mexico, and he's been to Scotland and Italy and all of the coolest places that you can think of, filming other people doing what they love. He also does a lot of great commercial work, which is why I've wrangled him into my business now. And he would be the right brain side of the business, and I am the left brain side. So I think Every Sparrow is what I would consider a full-scale business consulting service. We provide the strategy and the design. So the left brain side is everything having to do with how your business operates and functions. It's the less sexy side, I always say. It's the side where you need kind of that expert advice, and you need somebody who knows contracts. You need somebody who knows policies. And I work on that side, and I build strategies that are proven to get results for those businesses. And most of those strategies, if not all of them now especially, include a good amount of content. And Jeff, being an incredible videographer, he is able to create commercial content and copyright and captions that is compelling and has proven results. And so he is the right brain side, so the much sexier version that includes everything you can think of when it comes to design. That's web design, graphic design, interior and exterior design of brick and mortar businesses, which is super fun. I like to hop in on that as well. And he captures compelling content that really has the ability to go viral.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing content. I was watching the Fat Tire Beer video from the ski resort.
Really good.
That was like, you just watch that and it's like, wow, that entices me to want to be part of that.
Exactly. I don't drink beer, and I wanted to drink that beer. I was like, this is exactly what we want to provide to businesses here in Reno. And I think, honestly, what we're looking at doing long term is creating a true impact on our community and being able to make this area a destination more so than it already is, and empower these small businesses and say, if we just have little tweaks here and there, and we have Jeff to film this incredible content. I mean,
thank you, Jeff, by the way.
Shout out to Jeff for filming this. He just has this innate ability to take something so simple and make it so beautiful and compelling. He's really a storyteller, is what I would say. And so being able to tell small businesses stories, that's what really makes people want to go out into the community, into those businesses and spend their money there and support them. So I really, I think that Jeff's just as important to this business as I am. A business can't succeed without that left brain side, without the right things in place and the right strategy. But they also, in today's world, can't succeed without that right brain side and without that design and that compelling content either.
Yeah, it's really about how you film these events and these promos too. Like, it's how you film. It's good to know how to fade from one scene to the next. Like don't just chop it up, but where it like fades from out from one and into the other. That makes it look a lot better.
Oh, it's not even fade. It's just the whole process is mind blowing. I've seen him go from nothing to filming and just getting clips, and he has this whole storyline in his head of how he wants to convey this business's story or this product story or this couple's story. And it just blows my mind. He's completely genius when it comes to editing those films and editing that content. And you would be shocked. I mean, he does drone footage, which is just insane. And that drone footage doesn't have any sound with it. So a lot of the things that he does is going in and piecing this film together piece by piece to make it look like one seamless event,
Yeah.
and adding in the sounds that you think you're hearing in the video, but really it's just him being an amazing editor. So
Yeah, and how you edit really makes a difference too.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about with storytelling, that's really what branding is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. They think brand is the logo
Yeah.
and the art. Like, no, branding is who you are, how you come across to your people, whether you're working or not. It's also about what you wear, the hairstyle, that it's just what you are. You are your brand. So never forget that.
Absolutely. Branding is how you present yourself to the world.
Yeah.
Because as an entrepreneur, when people see you, they see your business.
Yeah.
And something that I have kind of implemented in my networking is that every time I go to an event, I'm a shoe person. I love great shoes. I have a great shoe collection. And, you know, being out of the corporate world, I've really embraced my ability to dress how I want and look how I want. And I have these fabulous rhinestone boots that I wore to the first few networking events that I went to. And there were a couple of crossovers with those events that I went to, and people recognized me and remembered me because of my rhinestone boots. So if you know, I always say, if you want people to be interested in you, be interesting. And that's something, it's a great icebreaker. You know, I would say if somebody is nervous about going to an event, wear something interesting. Wear your rhinestone booties. Maybe not you, but you could.
Well, my brand is typically like black clothing of some sort.
Jeff is the same. I am pretty vibrant a lot of times, and the rhinestone booties, somebody said, do you find that they match most of your items of clothing? And I'm like, no, I make the outfit around the boots. But it's so funny that something so simple, people are remembering me. And when they remember me, they remember how they feel around me. And that's why I think it's so important. I am very much the believer in you catch more flies with honey. And being kind to people will go so much further than trying to upsell yourself or trying to boast about what it is you do. Make people feel seen, be kind, and offer. It's truly one of the foundations of my business to offer as much as I can for free. And provide as much of, as many resources as I can for free. Because my true mission in this is to make our community stronger and better. And I can't do that if I'm just gatekeeping everything.
Well, that right there reminds me of something one of my mentors said that you guys should take away as a nugget. He said, my free stuff is better than other people's paid stuff.
Amen.
That's what you want to focus on with your business. Look at what your competitors are doing, and then look at how much more value you can add either for free or at a lower price. Now, you don't want to do too much stuff for free because then people take advantage of you, but you want to offer enough where it's like, okay, that can get your people more comfortable with getting on a call with you and other sorts of things that relate to doing business together. So what she's pointing out is absolutely very accurate, and it really, it can really be the icebreaker.
Right. I think that free content, there's a lot to be said about the free content that you offer to people. I think don't ever offer something for free without at least getting an email address, right? At least get them in your Rolodex. Oh, I'm aging myself with Rolodex. But at least get somebody that is interested in what you have to offer, even if they're just curious. At least get one bit of their contact information so you can follow up on that free product that you've given.
Yeah, and follow up is extremely important. That's what we do in Nevada Entrepreneurs. We, when it comes to people that we're in contact with, whether it's invites or other things, follow up as quick as you can because people are waiting on you. They're waiting on your response.
Yeah, and just be true to yourself, I think. You don't have to, ChatGPT is a very valuable tool, but you can also, once you get comfortable having conversations with clients or potential clients, I think it's important to remember that a big part of your brand is your voice.
Yes.
And it's you don't want to sound like a robot. You don't want to sound like you have all the answers. Nobody wants to sound like ChatGPT, and I think I think this is something I'm noticing a lot is you can tell now when somebody has their captions or their messages completely written by ChatGPT, because ChatGPT has a voice.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that people are starting to pick up on that. And it's important that we remember that our voice is valuable.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't have all of the answers, what you have to say in your own voice is more valuable than what a robot is going to spit out, because anybody can use ChatGPT. It's free. It's a resource that's already out there. What you have to offer is different.
Yeah.
And you don't have to rely on ChatGPT it's a great starting point, is what I always say. It's a great starting point. It's a great place to go for brainstorming, editing. Like, it's great to utilize it for those purposes. But I really want to empower people to use their own voice too.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not be perfect. And it's okay to not have all the answers or to not have the perfect call to action in your captions. If it's true to you and your brand, then that's better 99% of the time than what ChatGPT is going to say. Because people notice. And people want, if they're going to pay for your service, they don't want to pay for ChatGPT. ChatGPT is there for free.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. What you're just saying right there really goes right into how human beings crave authenticity, and they also crave connection. And we saw that during COVID. People were not liking all the Zoom stuff. They want to be around each other. People want to be around each other. That's why we do these Nevada Entrepreneurs events. It's to build community.
Right.
And even though last night's room was a smaller crowd, it was a powerful crowd.
It was,
we had amazing connections come out of that. I look forward to hearing the stories when I talk to the attendees. And it was great times last night. We still had a lot of fun and still built new friendships and connections. So that's what we're about.
It was. I think there was a lot of people talking about their businesses, and you mentioned COVID and how they were affected by COVID. My husband's business, Adventure Wedding Films, completely changed during COVID because people couldn't have those traditional weddings, and they were running off doing elopements, just the two of them. And now that is truly the basis of my husband's other business, where I'm not roped in. I just tag along for fun. But it totally changed the face of his business, and that's what I'm talking about. Being flexible. I think it's powerful also to realize that COVID was the great equalizer in some instances. Like, everybody had to start over, basically. Nobody expected it. You can't really prepare your business for something like that.
No.
And the good news is that I'm a firm believer that square one is sacred ground. You can rebuild your business, your life, whatever it is that you are working towards. You can start over at square one, and you've got nothing to lose. You can craft your life and your business exactly how you want it to be. You don't have to just continue doing what you were doing. If something is not working in your life or your business, it's okay to change. And it's okay to be afraid. But it's also important to realize that square one is awesome. Square one is a beautiful place to be when you are inspired to create the life of your dreams.
Yeah, well, I didn't even think of that, square one. I'll keep that in mind. Also, I'd like to hear from Jeff as well, if you'd want to come on here and have both of you talk about how your marriage works with your business, especially for all the entrepreneurs out there who struggle with their marriages and business, because I don't know if you all know this, but the entrepreneurship divorce rate is close to 75%. So how do you two make it work together as left brain, right brain, and doing business together? Like, what is the secret sauce, or what could you tell other entrepreneurial couples who might be struggling?
Well, first, we enjoy each other.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Friendship is important, I think. Friendship's important. And counseling. There's no shame in taking care of your mental health individually and as a couple. So I think that's a big key for us too.
Yeah, I think going to a counselor and just being able to talk with each other, and also then at some points having that middle person that when you are in fights in your marriage and you wish somebody was just sitting right there just to like mediate. That's what counseling is. And it really helps you process a lot of things that are going on inside of you that you didn't even realize. And once you get that out, then the relationship becomes so much easier because you're not dealing with your own stuff inside.
Yeah. And how do you make that business work with raising the 3 kids?
That is a lot of calendaring and trading off, because he has a lot of filming that is kind of at unconventional times. And we have a shared calendar and everything goes on the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, we're probably not going to show up. But we know that there are things that we have to give and take, right?
Yeah.
Like last night, he stayed home, and he's an entrepreneur, and he could have benefited from that, but he stayed home, and it was my turn to go. And we really, I think the foundation of our relationship is friendship.
Yeah.
And you want to support your friends. You want your friends to succeed.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, whether that's being in business together or saying you can go and I'll stay home this time, and then we'll swap. When it's his turn, it's his turn. When it's my turn, it's my turn. And I think really, like, it's important for our businesses to succeed, for our family to succeed. Obviously, when you have a dual entrepreneur household, it's really important that we support each other, because when he wins, I win, and when I win, he wins. And I think we really understand that.
Agreed.
Yeah. So your kids are obviously your biggest why, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And how old are they?
Oh, they're 5, 4, and 3.
Oh, there we go. So those are like the hardest ages when you're doing entrepreneurship.
It's hard, but it's fun. And I think it's going to be really cool one day when our kids grow up and they see what we've done for them, to not only to provide for them and provide this life for them, but also just to know what is possible for them. What's possible. We have 2 girls. What's possible for women? What's possible for our son Maverick? Like, he wants to be a videographer just like his daddy. He wants to learn how to film, and he thinks it's super cool. And just being able to empower them in whatever it is that they're doing, they see 2 people who just went for it. And if they have that same entrepreneurial spirit, I think they will be a step ahead already, because they've seen somebody who just went for it.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And something I learned from Ed Milet is when you are not fulfilling your potential, you are disgracing your kids as a parent.
Yeah, I mean, legacy is a big deal, and we are real in this house. We're not perfect. We say sorry to our children if we need to, and they say sorry to us when they need to. We say sorry to each other, because I think it's important to remember nobody is perfect. And I think that is a cornerstone also of our relationship, is grace, and giving grace in our lives, in our marriage, to our children, but also in business. You know, I think it really, sometimes there are instances in business where there's a fork in the road, right? You can charge that cancellation fee and burn a bridge with a client. I know, it's rough. Or you can understand that shit happens. Life happens. And when you have a 5, 4, and 3-year-old, a lot of life happens.
Family first.
Yes, but that translates to our clients, because we understand and we have grace.
Yeah, that's important. Absolutely. You want to add anything to that, Jeff, yourself?
Oh yeah, I think a great idea Cheyenne came up with is we have white flags that we keep around the house. And whenever arguments start or intense situations that one person doesn't want to be in at the moment, it's great just to wave that white flag and be like, hey, I need to tap out. Like, this is becoming too much for me, and if it continues, it's not going to end in a good place. So honoring that white flag of, like, not just saying I surrender, but just the relationship of, I'm surrendering this argument for the sake of our relationship. Like, I don't need to win, you don't need to win, we just need to lay this down.
Well, your kids also need to see that. They don't want to see you fighting too much, because that can really traumatize them.
Yeah, and I think, they see us like best friends and being in love and working together, and I think the white flag is amazing. I think a lot of businesses could probably implement a white flag. It's true. I bought white flags, little tiny white flags off of Amazon, and I put them in what I would call strategic places around the house. In the kitchen, there's some in the office, and if something is going on where it just feels like too much, and we're like, I'm just overwhelmed, I don't even have the bandwidth to talk about this right now, wave the white flag, it's honored, and we move on, and we can table it for a later discussion when we're less overwhelmed. And I think that is really key in being successful in our business and also in our marriage.
And it just comes down to that respect, and we feel like we both are respecting each other, each other's wishes, and it's really helped.
Yeah, that helps a ton. This was great. Any other closing thoughts or anything else you want to add? I feel like we covered quite a lot today.
Yeah, we have. I mean, it's been fantastic for me. I just love the opportunity that you've provided with Nevada entrepreneurs and building that community here in Reno and in Vegas. It's awesome, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. I think that each event that I've gone to, whether it's your event or other community or networking events, I have really just, even if I call Jeff for a pep talk, which I did yesterday, and I do most times, and he's like, okay, go get him, Tiger. Like, it's not really anything, but it...
It's all good. Mistakes
happen.
I think... Welcome to business, everybody. We're not editing that out either.
Oh, good. Bloopers.
Yeah,
I just think, I hope that people can be encouraged in their own businesses, in their own lives, even in their own marriages, that it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to be real and authentic to yourself. And you'll never go wrong if you're being true to who you are.
No, absolutely. And I appreciate you doing the stage fright challenge yesterday.
No,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I think that it's getting easier the more you talk about your business. I'll get in front of anybody if they'll listen or not and tell them about my business. Because I think that there's passion and people connect with passion. And passionate people see passionate people. And if I have an opportunity or a stage or a microphone or even just an ear, I will absolutely seize that opportunity. So thank you for having that.
Oh, for sure. And you want to add something?
I'll say.
He's been very encouraging of me, and I think that Jeff has run several successful businesses. And he has sold businesses. He is jumping in on this business with me, and I think he's an incredible resource for Every Sparrow, not just in the design aspect, but he knows how to make viral posts. He knows how to read a dashboard and analyze that and tweak it so that you're getting to the next step. You're growing your followers, you're growing your clientele. He knows how to do that. And I think he sells himself short sometimes. And I think it's important we speak life into each other as entrepreneurs, as a community that is, we encourage one another and we speak the truth that we see in each other. I see that you're working really hard, and I see that you are, you're following your dreams, and that's important. Just call it out when you see it. I think positivity breeds more positivity, and so the more that we're able to speak life into other people, I think that is going to be a game changer, not only in our businesses but in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, community is everything, and even if the room was small and more intimate, the community was what was important. The type of people that came in was important. Because you want to be around people who truly want to help each other grow, and I was extremely proud of that last night, and I really thank you for being part of that.
You should be.
And
thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. So any other closing thoughts, or?
That's all I got. If you need some legally informed business consulting.
Oh yeah,
so beautifully crafted content for your business. Hit us up.
Absolutely. So you can find us at Nevada_entrepreneurs on Instagram or Nevada-entrepreneurs.com. Cheyenne, where can they find you?
Everywhere with my reindeer boots, or on Instagram at Every Sparrow, spelled EVRYSPRRW. Same thing for the website, EVRYSPRRW.com. You can send me an email, Cheyenne at Every Sparrow, spelled the same way, .com. I'm offering free 30-minute strategy sessions to figure out if we're a good fit and see if there's some ways that I could help you in your business.
Awesome. And Jeff, where can people find you and your awesome videography?
Instagram, Adventure Wedding Films, and then AdventureWeddingFilms.com.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning into this. These links will be in the description as well. Yeah, this was great, and thank you for being the second guest on this episode. And thank you.